All right, y'all. Today we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business. We're going to check out its local search, its city search, and we're going to see if it's got BSS, yes or no. And we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that pinned video, pinned post, home video, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC graph in white down here. Highest intent people on the left is people using social search, Google search, searching for a boudoir photographer in their or boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And as a result, they're we talk about them, BSS videos here. Over on the right, we got the lowest intent peeps. Talk about dealing with these or reaching these peeps on our sister channel, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where we talk about BLCS. And over there, we currently only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. Now, boudoir search sameness is BSS. That means a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots, page 1 on Google. 0 slots, page 1, we cannot have that. We're dying a fast death here because that means we're on page 2 or deeper. The reason that matters is we know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. That's right, they're one and done only. They're page 1 and done only searches. So for our page 2 or deeper, we're visible to approximately 80% of the market, so the bulk of the market. 1 slot on page 1 is also not good enough. Everyone on page 1's got 1 slot. So, it's us and most likely 9 other boudoir photographers. We're looking the same, we're not standing out. So what a boudoir photographer is doing is they're actually clicking, everyone's link, open up everyone's website, every contact form, every whatever submission form, getting a quote, comparing prices, waiting, negotiating. Why should I buy now? Trying to get the most for the least. It's wasting everyone's time. And most of these contact forms fill out don't even convert anyway. So just waste, waste, waste. So business dies slowly in this case, if only having 1 slot, page 1 Google search. And 0, 1 slots, page 1 Google is actually not normal. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. That's common. It's accepted to have 0, 1 slots, page 1 Google search, but it's not normal. Now, these 2 deeper root causes are market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. Market saturation, yeah, basically everyone knows about this one. More peeps joining. Basically, peeps kind of naturally upgrade their gear over time. New iPhone, new camera. And as they get new gear, they're actually throwing up their Google My Business profile saying they shoot boudoir, throwing up their website saying they're a boudoir photographer. They are, increasing basically the amount of times they post in the mom groups on Facebook saying they offer boudoir photo shoots. So all this is more sellers, more boudoir photographers for the same number of buyers, makes it harder for every other boudoir photographer in the market. This market saturation. Then we have false belief page 1 equality. Yeah, very few peeps know about this one. This is kind of like boudoir photographers naturally assumed that, they basically naturally assumed that each boudoir photographer gets, kind of just gets 0, 1 slots, page 1 on Google, and that's how it is. Maybe they had their page 1 slot 7. That's how market saturation happened. Now they're, page 2 slot 2. I'm like, well, that's simply what it is. Hopefully those people delete their websites so Google can bring us back up onto page 1. But no, this is the 100% incorrect mindset to have. This kind of a wait and see mindset. 100% wrong. What's actually true is Google will give us as many page 1 slots on Google search for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords as we want, or as we put in the effort to acquire. AKA, we actually show Google we want. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search in only 10 days. This new methodology we developed. So I know for a fact the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. Most now the boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer, a DBP. And remember BSS, 0, 1 slots, page 1 Google search for page 2 or deeper. We're dying a fast death. We're disappearing there for page 1, 1 slot. We're dying a slow death. Both cases, we're disappearing boudoir photographer. And what actually happens is this kind of warning light, the warning flag, the check engine light, the canary in the coal mine that's telling us, hey, our boudoir photography business itself is now on the path to disappearing. But thankfully, we now have a solution. we've actually discovered that BSS, Boudoir search sameness, 0, 1 slots, page 1 Google search, is treated with social search saturation, aka SQ's methodology. And it works exactly like it says, social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, so we show up there. And when we do this, it's kind of like the snow at the top of the Andes Mountains down there in South America, the eastern side, the backside of those mountains, where what happens is that snow melts, water drains into small streams, small rivers, and eventually it all flows, gets collected in the large Amazon River. Now, that is large Amazon River is page 1 Google search. That's exactly what it is. And we actually, so it all starts with the snow at the top of the Andes Mountains, because that all starts with the inputs. That's SQ methodology. We gotta get the snow up there first for it to then melt and actually, flow into the large Amazon River. Now, SQ methodology, it's the only solution I've seen that actually allows boudoir photographers to have a chance to still grow their business in the presence of massive market saturation. And in a relatively quick, give them that opportunity in a relatively quick time frame. And the largest, kind of the only other solution I've seen that gives that same benefit, but not in a relatively quick time frame, is actually having a large, well-known brand. But again, dude, that takes like 5 to 10 years. We ain't got 5 to 10 years, dude. AI's here, taking people's jobs. We don't have 5 to 10 years to build a brand. But what's interesting is SQ methodology, with my estimates, actually enables with the photographer to build a large, well-known brand approximately 8x faster than standard methods, because we're seeing across so many different surfaces with much higher volume, much higher frequency, reaching much more of the highest intent people. And as a result, my estimate is, building that brand 8x faster to make market saturation matter even less. All right, so now an example. We are now going to, this will be a good one. We're now going to Bend, Oregon. And there's 1 million boudoir photographers there. And we are one of them. Everyone's got their websites and they offer boudoir photography. So it means page 1 Google search, ultra competitive with 1 million websites trying to rank there. And so we're like, all right, we ain't got no brand. We ain't got no time to create a brand. And so the only chance of us competing here is we actually got to be the first ones in our city to utilize S-Cube methodology. And as a result, let's say we crank it up to the max, like kind of way above anything the average boudoir photographer would do with S-Cube methodology. And let's say we're taking up the first 300 slots for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords across all of social search. And let's say that flows then onto Google. We're taking up the first 300 slots on Google for this highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. And it's 10 organic slots per page Google search. So dude, we're taking up like the first 30 pages. So guess what? If a boudoir buyer is searching for a, basically if a boudoir buyer is searching for a, boudoir photo shoot in their city, and as a result, they're looking on different, social media searches and Google searches, we're basically the only one they can find. We're taking basically the first 300 slots everywhere. So they can't really find any competing boudoir photographers. So they basically hit slot 301. That's page 31 on Google. I already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So dude, who the heck's hitting page 31? Basically no one. So if we're essentially the only person they can find, the only boudoir photographer they can find, whose business is still growing in this market? Most likely ours. Whose business is dying, vanishing, going away, becoming invisible in this market? Most likely the other 999,999 other boudoir photographers. And so this is an example of what S-Cube methodology could enable for a boudoir photography business in an ultra saturated market. Now, once you're with S-Cube methodology, we now have page 1 visibility, P1V. Initial benefits, yeah, we're getting more slots to page 1 Google search, but interestingly, every new slot we get page 1 Google search, we're actually kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page 1, effectively making them invisible. Basically get to choose how many of our competitors go to page 2 and deeper, which means they're invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace. So a lot of boudoir photographers actually really like this initial benefit. And page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. And this is where the GBC universe recommends having, hitting the 3 out of 10 minimum for page one Google search. So hitting a minimum of 3 out of 10 slots. Because when we have that, we basically get rid of the boudoir photographer on page one. We'll have 1 slot, but we'll have 3, so we'll be dominating them. In the ultra rare case, someone else has 2 slots. Well, again, we got 3 slots, so we're still ultra dominating. We're still dominating them. And a boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So we got a disappearing boudoir. This is our micro universe here. We got a disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness, which is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. Thankfully, we have discovered a solution, S-cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become visible boudoir photographers with boudoir search visibility. All right, now it's my results here. I'm going to dominate Google page one for the keyword BLCS boudoir. So what I did was started using S-cubed methodology, and let's see the results. So slot 1, we're getting slot 1 Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So literally went from 0 out of 10 slots, page one Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page one Google search, in only 10 days, exclusively using S-cubed methodology. Now, all right, main event here. I'm going to see if this boudoir photography business has BSS for its its local search and its city search. Also going to see if it is hitting the recommended GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page one on Google. All right, so we're going to Rancho Cordova, California. All right, so here we go. We're in Rancho Cordova, California. And let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. No, that doesn't count. All right, so we got 0 out of 10. So we got BSS for our local search, and we are not hitting the GBC recommended minimum 3 out of 10 slots, page one on Google. We're going to go to our city search now, larger city search, Sacramento, California. Let's check it out here. Let's see. All right, we got 1. Boom. Nice. City's always harder than local. So, all right, we got 1 out of 10. And let's see. All right, so we got 1 out of 10 local. So we do still got BSS for that one. All right, so final result, we got, so local, we got 0 out of 10. So we got BSS. City, we got 1 out of 10. We also have BSS, and for both, we did not hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page one on Google. All right, so if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer, we've done your local search, your city search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. You've seen that you got BSS for one or both, or you're not meeting the GBC recommend minimum 3 out of 10 page one slots on Google for either one or both of them. And you have broken through and accepted the false belief of page one equality. So now you agree and believe with the truth that Google will actually give as many page one slots on Google as one wants to put in the effort to acquire. And you're saying that, oh, you've been looking exactly for something like this, and S-cubed methodology is exactly what you were looking for this entire time. And you're liking the, you're liking the initial benefits, basically like more page one slots on Google, and even more kicking other competitors off page one on Google, making them invisible. And so you like those initial benefits. You're understanding the market saturation. Yeah, more peeps, get new gear over time, more boudoir photographers over time, same number of buyers, harder for every single boudoir photographer. You got that, you got that, you got that. And you're looking ahead, understanding AI, seeing that it's already taken peeps' jobs, and you're realizing, okay, well, last time instead of COVID forced more boudoir photographers into the market because people don't have jobs, but they still got to earn money, and everyone's got a high-powered smartphone with awesome camera, so pretty easy to fire up a Google Maps or website saying they shoot boudoir now and compete with everyone else. And as a result, you actually realize you need this other hidden benefit, which is you actually need to fortify your position on page one with all these people coming that will be coming when AI is taking more and more people's jobs to force them to become boudoir photographers because they still need money, still need to earn money. And as a result, you're now looking for strategies to fortify your position on page one where no new people that get new gear can rank page one in your area, and no people that lose their job due to AI and want to become boudoir photographers uh, can neither rank page one on Google against you. So you're saying, how do you fortify yourself? You're saying, oh, S-cubed methodology is the only solution you see out there that can help you fortify that. Kind of like you have like backup links in the waiting that Google wants to rank, but since you've already taken so many slots on page one, Google literally cannot rank them. But it also means no other competitor, Google will not rank any other competitor because we would have kind of like links in waiting. So you're liking that, future benefit. You want to achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility, because you need these things on your way to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also like these 3 other future benefits, which are kind of the more we successfully execute S-cubed methodology every single day, we're building up like these invisible thematic keyword columns plugged into our brand, kind of like columns, the Parthenon, Athens, Greece, or like the center of a bike tire, the hub and the spokes, kind of build up more spokes outward from us, which actually builds a back-end AI mindshare. And we care about this because every time we increase this with the kind of repetition, authority, frequency, age of these keywords are being associated with through utilizing S-cubed methodology, we're actually increasing the probability every single day that we're recommended here. AI overview, the most premium placement, organic placement, cannot pay for this. And increasing that every single day we successfully increase the probability that every single day we successfully execute S-cubed methodology. And we are doing this same feature benefit as for the AI search apps, ChatGPT search, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. Every day we successfully execute S-cubed methodology, we're increasing probability we get brought up in search there. And last time I searched for boudoir photographer in a city, ChatGPT search recommended me 3. But I actually went to look, kind of like did a manual search, Google and Facebook, found out there's approximately 60 boudoir photographers in this city. So we know we got to get, one of those 3 AI search slots. And you're saying S-cubed methodology is the only thing that helps achieve those invisible thematic keyword columns, which directly increases that probability. Now, since you understand my current plan is to only work with 1 boudoir photographer per city, you decide to be a first mover and get all these initial benefits and future benefits, and more importantly, prevent your competitors from getting them. And when you've decided, that's because you also see, S-cubed methodology is able to build you a brand approximately 8x faster than kind of any normal methods out there, because it'll be on just so many surfaces with much higher frequency, kind of enabling you to build, kind of 2 ways to resist market saturation over time, and also put a massive gap between you and all your current competitors and any future competitors. The gap's so large with page 1 Google search domination and those invisible thematic keyword columns that backend AI search mindshare to be recommended through AI search that competitors really basically will never be able to catch up. And you understand the converse, which is if a competitor goes with me and you get locked out of utilizing this strategy, you'd actually have to rederive it for yourself. Actually, no, derive it for yourself the first time. You would then have to execute it as much as me and your competitor do. But we would already have a big gap on you. So when you equal our execution every single day, you're simply maintaining that gap. I mean, you're not gaining anything. So you'd actually have to double or triple our output. And when you do that, I mean, like first, you would not be 100% confident you've even derived S-cubed methodology correctly in the first place to even feel confident putting in that much time to outcompete against us, to outcompete us. And you'd need like 80 hours in a day. So like, who's got that time? You're deciding, screw that. I've decided to be a first mover. I'm not missing this opportunity. So if that's you, shoot me a DM. My DMs are currently closed. So shoot me a DM when the hospital opens. The hospital is currently closed for new patient intake But when the hospital does open, shoot us a DM. We'll see if you qualify for utilizing our S cubed methodology.